Za početak, ekskluzivna izjava Gérard Berrya. Kako i zašto je informatika okrenula svijet na glavačke?
Where is informatics used today? It starts to be everywhere, and it's only the beginning. So it's used in everyday life for communication, typically. This is well known by people, but also in any kind of objects. Airplanes are driven by informatics, and cars are driven by informatics more and more, and factories and everything. And of course, telecommunication, telephone, media, music, photography, text exchange between people. So it's everywhere. And it's only the beginning of the story. It will go much more because the next steps are making many more things with informatics, because now we know, for example, we start knowing about how to translate languages, which is changing my life personally when I go somewhere, because I don't speak Croatian very much. And it's going in sciences. It's going in medicine very strongly, for good reasons, because, for example, medical imaging is a fundamental progress in medicine, which is essentially a mixture of physics and informatics and algorithms. And sciences like astronomy, like physics, are heavily informatized, and that will amplify. There are difficulties with that. One difficulty which is really hard is security. Our world becomes very much computer-oriented, and security problems are becoming everywhere because security is relatively weak these days, and hackers are quite good, and the systems are not secure. Banking systems are not really secure, and exchange systems and whatever, for example, people try to build house automation, and we don't know how to make it secure now. Unsecure house is not a good idea. And so that's a big problem, especially when you want to have a lot of objects everywhere that talk to each other. For example, sensor networks in cities, then you want to automate cities to have a more fluid driving, which is a very good idea, but if hackers can penetrate the city and break down the signaling in the city, it will be very bad. And there are good examples of security failure these days. So that's a big problem, and it cannot be solved by tweaking things. It is a big mathematical problem, and we are still too weak right now to have it reasonably solved. So that will slow down things. Or maybe it will not slow down things, and that will be worse. We should be careful about that. Voting system don't quite work, and so on. So that will be a big problem. There are new advances everywhere in informatics, and also you have to know that the number of microprocessors produced per year is 80 billion, so it's 10 times more than human beings. So these things are everywhere, and controlling what's going on is becoming on the edge of impossible. It's absolutely clear that informatics will be a major part of most professions. And so you don't need to learn informatics only to do informatics in your career, but if you do any kind of science, my friend scientists, they spend more than half of their life on their computer. So informatics is getting a dominant role in many places, and if you want to ignore what it is for your life, and unfortunately is mostly ignored by many politics people, which is a big problem. Because they don't understand how the world is evolving. And you see the power these people are taking compared to the people who don't understand informatics. So it's a question of being a sovereign country. Being a sovereign country and ignoring informatics has become incompatible. So yes, you have to understand it to some point. Not everybody become an expert. But to understand that informatics is a different way of thinking. That is, using the level of information is much more powerful than using a level in physics.